So my name is Justin Baer. I'm a graduate student at the University of Washington. I'm a member of UW Academic Workers for a Democratic University. And if I may, I'd like to first talk about kind of a cruel April Fool's joke. So as many of you might know, last year, Seattle became one of the early adopters of the $15 minimum wage, thanks to the work of labor movement and grassroots organizations like Socialist Alternative right here in our city. So this law was set to go in effect on April 1st last year, 2015. Millions of people in the city were going to get their wages raised. But however, the University of Washington administration had a different idea. They thought it would be a chance for maybe a little bit of a cruel April Fool's joke. They said that despite being one of the largest employers in the city with many low-wage workers, as a public state institution, they were not required to pay their workers a minimum wage established at the city level. What do y'all think about that? It was like, you think you're getting a raise? April Fools! Not a great joke. Now this could have just blown over, but me and other members of Academic Workers for Democratic University said, no way. We stand in solidarity with all the workers at our university. You're saying that workers at Suzlo Cafe right over there are going to make less than workers at Solstice Cafe just a couple blocks away? That's ridiculous. We started talking to unions, student activist clubs, cultural groups, everybody on campus. Needless to say, people were pretty excited about this, pretty fired up to get some change. We got about 20 groups signed on to start planning how to fight back. And out of this, we led the creation of a coalition called Reclaim UW. Our first event was a march on campus that drew hundreds of people. We were chanting, UW, you're no good. Treat your workers like you should. Can I hear you all say it? UW, you're no good. Treat your workers like you should. UW, you're no good. Treat your workers like you should. Exactly. And so this, along with Black Lives Matter, helped ignite a massive movement on campus. People were demanding a racial equity fund to fight institutional racism. People were demanding an end to harassment of custodians by managers. We were demanding a tuition freeze for all students who were facing massive debt, as we just heard. And we got bolder. So for those of you who might not know, right now the UW budget is approved by the Board of Regents. This board consists of people, for example, the CEO of Alaska Airlines, top executives at Costco, Microsoft, and Boeing. Are these the kinds of people who should be deciding the budget of a public university? No! We thought, why the hell do we have corporations deciding how money at our public university will be allocated? We demand that the budget of this university will be democratically decided on by all workers and students at the university. So we occupied a fancy Board of Regents dinner, with hundreds of people. They were serving up these fancy rolls, delicate appetizers, and exquisite salads. But we said, you're not serving up what we want. We're hungry for justice. We don't see any justice here. Hundreds of members of the community came out. We occupied a Board of Regents meeting. We said, we don't want a Board of Regents. We want a board of the people. And now, we did this for several months last year, occupying meetings, starting marches all over campus, all over the community around here. And you might be saying, this is a lot of shouting, but what did we get done? Well, I'm proud to report that UW is now on schedule to implement the $15 minimum wage for all workers on campus. Because of our movement, workers on this campus will be that much closer to making a living wage for this increasingly expensive city. Another thing that happened was, during our actions, unfortunately, a custodian named Salvador became the latest victim of union busting at UW. He was speaking about harassment by managers on campus, and they fired him because of that. But guess what? Our movement got him rehired in 2 days after he was fired. I talked to Paula, the president of the custodial union, WFC 1488, and she said this was unprecedented. No one had ever gotten one of these custodians rehired that quickly. And so what's the point of all this, right? None of this would have been possible without connecting people and building a broad movement. We need bold demands that get people excited about making things happen. We need grassroots coalitions with dynamic voices and leaders inspiring people to action. This is the key to defeating the corporate establishment at this university. This is the key to defeating the corporate establishment across the United States. This is the key to defeating far-right figures like Trump everywhere. Yeah. We need to keep building movements like this of the 99%. Thank you.